While some people in DeKalb continue picking up the pieces in the aftermath of Tropical Storm Irma, DeKalb County crews continue their efforts too. Hurricane Irma blew into our county as a tropical storm on September 11th, leaving a trail of damage in her wake. One death, at least $11 million of insured losses, and an untold amount of uninsured losses are attributed to Irma in DeKalb County. DeKalb CEO Michael Thurman issued a local state of emergency on September 13th to enable the county to receive state and federal resources for cleanup efforts and recovery. With the coordination of the DeKalb Emergency Management Agency, county departments and public safety first responders worked around the clock to ensure the safety of DeKalb citizens.
It's the coordination and the behind the scenes that we help with that makes the actual incident run smoother and has brought folks together better. Everybody needs to know what their part is, and when it comes time, nobody thinks about, oh, how big and how horrible this may be. We just go to work. It's what we do.
Calls picked up. We actually were taking more calls than we did during the big snowmageddon when we had folks trapped on the interstates. The 911 center was getting inundated with calls. They sustained for about 5 hours over 650 calls per hour, which is incredibly busy for the 911 center.
250 calls are average during a typical rush hour in the 911 center. DeKalb firefighters responded to their usual calls during the storm, in addition to hundreds more calls about downed trees and wires.
There was over 1,700 calls responded to within 36 hours. That means that in many cases they probably came in that morning, reported to work for their 24-hour shift, and they may not have returned to the station until the end of the shift.
Our Board of Health officials were in the mix too, overseeing many health and safety responsibilities while also ensuring the safety of our food and water supplies.
If there's a power loss, we need to work with restaurants and other public places to make sure that the food that they are managing is still safe to use, and if not, we need to give them directions on how to dispose of it. It depends on how long the power goes out. If it goes out for a long time, this food needs to be assessed to make sure it's even safe.
During emergencies, DeKalb's Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, plays a vital role in the first responders community.
Settings matter, and GIS is our responsibility to get that data out to the people in the field as quick as possible.
GIS makes data sharing easy with its creation of specialized maps and apps.
One of the examples that we created for the emergency management department is they wanted to know where all the trees were down. And we took that information, we created web maps. When we created those web maps, they were able to put that on their laptops or on their mobile phones or any type of devices in the field where they can see that information real time.
Our recent drought conditions, combined with the onslaught of heavy rains and winds from Irma, were too much for hundreds of trees in DeKalb. They came crashing down on our yards, homes, businesses, roadways, and power lines.
We had sustained winds of 25 miles an hour with gusts up to 45 and some recorded at 60. During the middle of the storm, the winds got so severe on top of Stone Mountain that they stopped recording.
During the height of the storm, more than half the county was in the dark. Within 4 days, 95% of all power outages in DeKalb were restored. The quick turnaround is due in large part to early preparation. The county began planning for Irma well before the storm arrived in DeKalb.
Well, we started preparing the week prior. We started cleaning out storm drains, taking care of weep holes on bridges, making sure that we wouldn't have flooding issues because we didn't know exactly how much rain we were going to get.
Similar to first responders' schedules in emergencies, DeKalb road crews reported to work after hours prior to the Monday storm for 16-hour shifts to ensure the county had non-stop coverage to keep our community safe and our roads clear.
We care about the people of DeKalb County, and we wanted to make sure that we could clear the roads and remove debris in record time so we could get people's lives back to normal.
DeKalb crews relied on the power company to ensure power lines were de-energized before removing any trees entangled in wires. That can add to the time it takes to clear a road, but it's necessary for everyone's safety. Of approximately 2,000 miles of roads in DeKalb, 350 streets were blocked by trees and storm debris. The amount of debris cleared is still being tallied, but all roads closed because of Irma have been reopened. While county crews remove trees and debris from roads and rights-of-way, property owners are responsible for the debris and trees on private property. DeKalb Sanitation Department will collect properly placed debris left at your curb on your regular collection date. Branches and limbs must be neatly trimmed and cut to a maximum of 4 feet in length, stacked neatly at the curb. The removed twigs, vines, and leaves must be placed in approved receptacles. Individual tree pieces must not exceed 50 pounds. Limbs cut by professional or hired contractors should not be left at the curb for collection by the Sanitation Division. To get more details, go online to the county's homepage at DeKalbCountyGA.gov and look for the quick link to the Sanitation Department. The debris picked up at your curb and throughout the county will end up at the Seminole Road landfill. So far, more than 235 tons of debris have made their way to the landfill, and the amount collected is expected to triple or quadruple by the time all the storm-related debris is picked up.
The grade that I think for the preparations and the interoperability and the communication on this event was an A+.
Nevertheless, county officials will participate in a debriefing session to examine DeKalb's preparedness and response to Tropical Storm Irma to help ensure the county is ready for the next big event.